Hey everybody, Chris coming at you again with another chainsaw video. In this video we're going to be reviewing the Echo model CS-400 40cc homeowner grade chainsaw. At the time this video is being made, this saw is still available on the market, readily available. I bought this particular one at Home Depot, although you can buy these at any Echo dealer. Saw has a 40cc engine and comes with an 18-inch bar, low profile 3/8 pitch chain. Let's just go over some of the features. Dare I say that this may be one of the best, if not the best, 40cc homeowner grade saw in this class. This saw has a couple of features that are reminiscent of older saws when things were not quite completely made of plastic. You may notice the handlebar here is actually aluminum covered with a rubbery material, and that's something you don't see on homeowner grade saws anymore. I mean, if you want to nowadays, if you want a saw that's got an aluminum handle, you've probably got to step up to an expensive professional grade saw. So that's something I really like about this. You just don't see this on homeowner saws anymore. That, and you notice you've got a pretty neat old school metal toggle switch for your kill switch, and I like that. Keeps things simple. It's a quality part. Another thing I really like about this saw is the way they designed the gas cap. You can really grab onto it. Now they've also provided a slot that you can stick your scrunch tool or a screwdriver in if you need a little extra help getting this open. You may notice this thing right here, and you would think that's a button, and on some models it is, but on this one this is just a plug plugging off the hole. On some models this would be a button for your trigger lock to set your trigger in high idle for starting, but on this particular saw the high idle is accomplished by simply pulling the choke out. Pulling the choke out sets it on high idle. If you hear that click when I pull the trigger, that's disengaging and going back to the normal idle position. Got a primer bulb right here. While we have it on this side, I might as well show you. We've got two bar nuts. I think there is a model of the CS-400 available with the toolless tensioner, but I prefer the old school bar nuts. Side mounted tensioner screw, so it's easy to get to. That's a nice feature. That's your chain brake. Saw comes from the factory with a felling dog, bucking spike, whatever you want to call it. You can access the air filter and spark plug by loosening this thumb screw on top, and this cover comes off. This has a really high quality air filter. I really don't think any debris is going to get past this thing. You see there, it's like a miniature car air filter. Really nice, really high quality stuff. Just spin that on, and that holds your cover down. You've got a sticker up here that shows you what replacement bars and chains will fit this saw. This particular saw has, I guess you would call it an easy start feature. Basically, as you're pulling on the starter rope, you're putting tension on a spring that kind of helps spin the engine over. You really don't have to pull it fast. You can pull this thing almost as slow as you want to, and when it reaches a certain point, it'll spin the motor. So that makes it easy to start for some people. I have had this saw probably about 2 years now. I feel like it's time for a review because I don't have too many hours on this saw yet, but I think I've used it enough to be able to judge the quality and performance. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you may have seen a video where I removed the plastic carburetor adjustment limiters on here so that I could adjust the carburetor just a little bit more rich than factory settings. Most of these saws, due to EPA regulations, come from the factory pre-adjusted, just a little lean. Some people choose to richen up the mixture just a little bit, which isn't a bad idea, but you don't have to. People say it'll make the engine last a little bit longer, which it probably will, because you're getting more fuel and therefore more oil to the engine. So far I'm really happy with this saw. I think it's probably the best bang for your buck right now, as of the date this video is being made, for a 40cc homeowner grade saw. Now, this does have the clamshell type motor. You've got anti-vibration rubber bushings in here. I tend to like the Husqvarna anti-vibe system a little better because they use springs instead of these rubber mounts, but the vibration isn't bad with this. Just overall a pretty nice saw. One thing I wanted to mention, you see the model number right here, model CS-400, and this is a 40cc saw. With an echo, or most echoes, take the first, if it's a 3-digit model number, take the first 2 digits, and that gives you your engine size. Carburetor adjustments are right here, your low and high screws, and your idle adjustment. Alright, let's go make a couple cuts with it.